My name is Lucy Usani. We are going to look at factors affecting supply from Group 6. Factors affecting supply. It is also called determinants of supply. So, who can give us the factors that you think it can affect the supply of commodities in the market? Here we have the government policy. So class, how does the government policy affect the supply of commodities in the market? Yes, John? Through taxes and through taxes, subsidies, what else? Yes? Yeah, there is price control. Price control. Another thing that affects the government policy can use to, a government policy that can affect the supply of goods or commodities. Another one, we have quotas. And by taxes, when the government imposes taxes on, let's say, raw materials that are used to generate a certain commodity, it means the supply of that commodity goes down due to an increase in cost of production. And then when the government subsidizes a product, for instance, the product is supposed to sell at 180. And then the government has subsidizes this product by 30 shillings. So it means the price of this product will reduce to 150, right? Sure. So when the price reduces, maybe the demand for that product will increase. And indeed, a company will tend to produce more of those products. And then there is another one, price control. Can anyone help us explain how price control is done by the government?
The government regulates prices of different commodities. Like, for example, this pen. You cannot sell this pen at 15 shillings when it's supposed to be sold at 20. So it's the mandate of the government to ensure that price of certain commodities doesn't go below and
yes. And that can affect the supply of a commodity in that you might find out that a government has set the price to be so low that may cause a farm to maybe when the government set the price to be low, it means the farm will minimize the profit of our products. And so the farm will tend to produce less of that product. And then quotas. Okay, by quotas, it means a government regulates the quantity of goods to be supplied. And in most cases, it does this with the imports. Maybe it says in the number of a commodity that is supposed to be supplied, it shouldn't exceed, let's say, 50. So when the government says, it means the supply of that commodity will be affected. And another thing that affects the supply of a commodity, what? Yeah, weather. And in most cases, weather mostly affects the agricultural produce. And whether it goes with the natural factors, that is the pests, diseases, we've got flood, we have drought. So in case of this, you might find out maybe the plants will be affected and the production of those products will be low. And when it's low, it means what comes in the market is low. Another thing is something else is incidences of strife. How does this affect the supply of goods? Yes?
Security. Insecurity.
You're talking about insecurity.
Oh, you see, when strikes happens, there is no security of the commodity to be sold.
Yes?
Let's say people are striking because maybe certain commodity in the market is not satisfying them. So you see, you have no security for your produce, so the supply or the consumer will not request the supply.
And that will lead to loss. And another thing, the incident of strike again comes in. Let's say in a company, maybe they are striking for maybe increase in salary. And so when there is strike, it means no production is taking place. Another thing,
Price of the product.
price of the product. Definitely, every supplier would want to maximize on profit. So an increase in price of a commodity leads to increase in supply. Any other thing? Something else is technology. Yes. We have technology status. For instance, introduction of computer in an office will tend to increase the supply of a good, because when you introduce computer, it means less labor will be required. And labor is a cost of production, right? So when cost of production goes down, the produce of product goes up, and that will lead to higher supply. Another thing is government stability. When in a country there is peace, it means more goods will be produced and more goods will be supplied. And then we have another one is means of transport. When there is efficient infrastructure, or the infrastructures are good, it means the raw materials will get to the farm on time as it is required, and therefore when the farm receives its raw material, it tends to produce more. And another thing that comes in is time. Time affects the supply of goods in two ways. One, let's say when demand goes high, a company will be required to increase maybe its labor, increase the raw materials for it to produce more. And time being a factor, it means they have to adjust in their structures. They have again to take time to employ more or improve their technology. And so that time they take here, it affects their production. And time again, when it comes to agricultural produce, a farmer, when you plant a thing, you have to wait you have to wait like 3 months or 2 months before that thing gets ready and you take it to the market. And so that's how time affects the supply of goods. And then the cost of production also. When the cost of production is high, it means less will be produced, and we have the goals of the farm. You see, the farm, sometimes it does not depend on price. Maybe its goal is to produce more, to expand its market, and therefore that can lead to increase or decrease in supply. And lastly, we have the expected change in price. So when a supplier expects an increase in future of price, that time they will tend to supply more. And when they withdraw the supply of commodities now to keep it for future. And when they expect a decrease in price in future, they will supply more now so that they maximize their profit before the price goes down. And I think that's the end. I will invite my colleague to proceed from there.